It's been Ireland's season. After a 61-year wait, the Grand Slam is at last theirs. Now, will the national success rub off on the two remaining provinces in the Heineken Cup, Leinster and the reigning champions Munster? It is indeed a great time for Irish rugby. It's quarter-final weekend of the Heineken Cup. Two more matches to complete the semi-final lineup. The reigning champions Munster play their 100th game in the competition. It's the Ospreys, the side who have to step in to the Thomond Park cauldron. And following that, here at the Stoop, Harlequins, the form team in England at the moment, having lost only one of the last 10 matches in all competitions, take to the field against Leinster, who for all their talents have never made the final in this competition. So by the end of the day, we'll be down to 4 in this season's Heineken Cup. We're basing ourselves in southwest London at the Twickenham Stoop for the last of those quarter-finals between Harlequins and Leinster. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined in the studio by Scott Quinnell, Paul Wallace and Will Greenwood, plus down on the front line, Tyrone Howe in control of the magical televisual pen this afternoon. He'll be handling matters on the front line. First of all, though, let's show you what happened yesterday. But not long to go. 1 o'clock kickoff across at Thomond Park, and the Ospreys, well, only one side, but it was Leicester that won there a couple of years ago in the Heineken Cup. If you're the Ospreys management, how do you go about setting out your game plan?
Well, hopefully they watched how Cardiff defeated Toulouse yesterday, and they understand that with everything you must begin with just a complete and utter dogged defence. Just hold your line at all stages. They've got it for a two-horse race. They're one of the longest odds you're ever likely to find when you consider they've got 5 or 6 Grand Slammers of their own in their team, and they've got the likes of Tia and Holler who are niggly little so-and-sos. So they've got plenty of potential to take there. Hook has waited for his stage, hasn't he? And this is his opportunity.
He's been frustrated all year behind Stephen Jones. He's had bits coming on, but he needs to really take that game by the throat today. Play in areas. That's what they're going to do. It's a test match, you know, as you mentioned. These two sides have gone at each other in the Welsh and green jersey. Now they've got to go, they've got to play. And James Hook has got to play the ball in the right areas, bang it down into the 22, frustrate Munster, because they will have expectations of wanting to win or win well today.
Paul, is there any danger, you think, with Munster being such strong favourites, the tournament favourites, the reigning champions, of any chance of complacency, or are they just too experienced for that now?
Well, too experienced, I think you're right there. But, you know, Leinster, they had a very good win, Munster against Leinster, and it was a great match to have, a great warm-up, that sort of civil war that you have between Leinster and Munster. It's a great way to get into a Heineken Cup quarter-final. They're going to come in, they had a couple of weaknesses in that game in the scrum, at the breakdown. I think Leamy coming in is going to make a big difference. He's so physical with Quinlan around the breakdown. I think he'll bring on the Munster game there. The scrum needs to improve, although I don't think the Ospreys are as powerful maybe as Leinster are. But I think Leinster, they're old pros. They can win you know, the hard way or the easy way, and I think it's going to be very difficult to beat them. OK, well, there is a doubt on the other side of things as far as Shane Williams is concerned. They're waiting right up till kickoff to let us know. Doubtful with his groin at the moment. Should he be missing, and with Henson out as well and no Lee Byrne, those attacking options getting, well, a little bit more blunted.
It certainly is, and you know, what will they do? Shane has been inspirational not only for Wales but for the Ospreys. He comes up with the big play, and he's their go-to player when things start to break up, when things get a little bit more open. He's the one that creates the space, gets over the gain line and brings players like Parker, like Bow, like Bishop into the game. If he doesn't play, I would like to see Hook go back to full back, possibly Bow onto the wing, and there's a young guy called Dan Bigger who is the next big thing coming out of the Ospreys.
But what sort of form was he in though, Will, really?
He's not been in spectacular form. He had some good line breaks against Gloucester in the Anglo-Welsh, but Ospreys couldn't quite finish off. In the Six Nations, he's looked a shadow of his former self. Wales haven't quite maintained the fluidity and tempo that they've had in recent seasons. On the back of that, he's struggled to get as much ball and on occasion has overchased games. He's at his best when things are happening in front of him and he can come and pick holes. What he'll need today, we obviously talk about the backs, but in the forwards, people like Ian Goff, who whilst they finished fourth in the Six Nations, Goff was massive in that second row. They need those sorts of guys just to absolutely smash every ruck. And Johnson talked for England about teams being in it at the 60-minute mark. The Ospreys today have to find a way to be in it at the 60-minute mark.
And the Ospreys are going to go out and say, right, we're playing against Munster, let's play open rugby, look at our back three, even without Lee Byrne. Very lots of pace, lots of playing ability. But the one thing they got to do when you're playing against Munster, if they want any chance of beating them, is to play territory. You've got to play a boring game. You've got to keep Munster stuck in their own half. Leinster do it. Anytime Leinster have beaten Munster, that's the way the game plan goes. You've got to keep them stuck in there because it's going to be difficult. They've only got one player, maybe Howlett, who can score from 60 metres out.
And of course, if that's going to happen, then a huge game for the halfbacks, in particular for James Hook. Do you feel that he has a tendency, though, to go missing in matches of this magnitude?
They tend to, all depends on how the forwards go. If the forwards go really well, and you know the likes of Haller, you know, Tia is inspirational to this side. If he goes well, gets over that gain line, it's very much like Shabal. If he does that for Sale, then they get the go forward, and he has typified the go forward for the Ospreys over the last couple of years. And then James Hook can pick his head up, he can bang it in the corners. We know he loves to run, he loves the space, he loves the show and go. Today, can he just sit back in the pocket slightly and bang it into the corners?
The question marks still hang over Hook and Phillips. Phillips has answered more questions than Hook has at international level, but against a beaten pack, or sorry, behind the beaten pack, on occasion Hook absolutely still tries to play too much, and Wally's absolutely right. Today, behind the beaten pack, if you chase it against Munster, they will suffocate you. They will smother you. That back row will be all over you like a rash, and before you know it, the game is gone.
And you mentioned Shane Williams there as well. I think he's a great player with a bit of space. I don't think Munster will give him that space today, especially with the defence of Dowling and Howlett out wide. It's just as claustrophobic as it is in tight with the likes of O'Connell and O'Callaghan. And they're going to have to get some go-forward ball, and it's going to be very tough for Ospreys to get that.
OK, it is the third Heineken Cup quarter-final. The Cardiff Blues and Leicester already through to the semi-finals. Will it be Munster or the Ospreys who becomes the third team through to those semi-finals? Match commentary comes from Ian Evans and Mark Robson.
Well, it's been a solid theme in the build-up this week. How can a potentially flaky, unpredictable, individualistic Ospreys beat the might of the Munster collective here at the Limerick Citadel of Thomond Park? It's Munster in their 100th Heineken Cup match, who have the favourites label nipped and tucked into their famous jerseys. Well, the pack contains the front five that started the Grand Slam winning match. So that means it's Marcus Horan with John Hayes, Ireland's most capped international, and the hooker is Jerry Flannery. Well, we do know this Welsh franchise, the Ospreys, when they click, can take the knobbly ball version of the beautiful game to an almost sensual level, Jan. Can they produce it today?
Well, it's a big challenge, there's no doubt about that. Particularly up against Munster. Munster pretty much defined this tournament. So much of the theatre that's synonymous with this tournament really has been brought by Munster. Either glorious failure or some magical victories that we've seen of late as well. Defending champions, so much European pedigree, so many miles on the clock as well. So much experience they can delve into. Ospreys are very much up against this, but now they're in this as underdogs. They're not expected to do well. That might well bring them together as a team, because that's been the frustrating aspect of watching the Ospreys. They haven't played as a team. This might well unify them.
Well, Munster on a great one. They've won their last 7 games, a sequence that started in that league match against the Ospreys. So what will we see today? A soaring, glorious performance from the Ospreys and a spectacular victory, or another crushing European advance from the merciless and menacing Red Army?
Oh, as I said, so much experience. You think back to the occasions that Munster really have produced the goods. This the Tone faithful here, this electric atmosphere today, are expectant. They're expecting this team to provide the goods. Very rarely do they let them down, and that's the challenge that's confronting the Ospreys here today. And on top of that, they've lost 2 key players, Gavin Henson and Lee Byrne as well, so they have to cope with that. But again, if we can't get stimulated by an occasion like this and in an atmosphere like this, then we struggle in any sort of arena.
Well, now we can look at those teams, and the pack does contain that front 5 that started the Grand Slam winning match. Marcus Horan with John Hayes, Ireland's most capped international, and the hooker is Jerry Flannery. In the second row, the big O's as usual, Donegal Callaghan and Paul O'Connell, who has recovered from a slight hip injury sustained against Leinster. In the back row, Munster resisted, starting with David Wallace at number 8. Alan Quinlan is Wallace's fellow flanker. Dennis Leamy was on the bench for the Leinster match, but he starts today. Again, the half-backs are the ones that started against Wales. Tomás O'Leary's greater physicality is preferred these days by Munster and Ireland. Ronan O'Gara is over what was a slightly worrying ankle injury. In the midfield, the Phoebe Maffey partners the electric Keith Earls, who scored the decisive try in the Leinster derby here last weekend. On the wings, Ian Dowling now over a serious hamstring tear, and Doug Howlett, who had a virus this week but is fine now. The fullback is the Australian Paul Warwick. But to the Ospreys then, of course, they have injuries to key men, but there is still Welsh and Irish Grand Slam pedigree drizzled through their ranks. Well, the props are Paul James. Duncan Jones is injured, but the other member of the Hair Bear bunch, Adam Jones, is fit. Hugh Bennett is the hooker. Important news in the second row, the Welsh Six Nations pairing of Ian Gough and Alan Wynne-Jones is restored. Gough was touch and go, but is fit, a powerful presence. In the back row, Sean Hawley has decided to start with captain Ryan Jones on the blind side. All Black Marty Holla is at 7, and the streetwise veteran Philo Tia is at number 8. Well, the half-backs are Mike Phillips, ever present in the Six Nations, and the out half is the always dangerous, if unpredictable, James Hook. In the midfield, well, no Gavin Henson to consider, so it's the huge experience of Sonny Parker alongside another Welsh international, Andrew Bishop. Well, you are looking at one probable Lions test wing in Wales World Player of the Year, Shane Williams, if he does run out. But it's Johnny Vaughton on the other wing, because Lee Byrne has failed to recover from that foot injury. So Tommy Bowe is the fullback, and Bowe is no stranger to the 15 shirt. And that is the big question, I suppose, Giant. Will Shane Williams run onto the pitch? We'll know in a couple of seconds. Is he there?
Well, for Osprey's sake, let's hope so. But the thing about with a groin injury, stepping is such an important part of his game. If he's not fully fit, then it probably isn't the place for him. So everyone's eagerly awaiting to see whether the little man does turn up or not. But they have to play as a cohesive unit. We're talking about individuals, and there is Shane Williams. He does start the game, but it's whether they play as a cohesive unit. That's the big thing for the Ospreys. Tommy Bowe, who had an exceptional Six Nations for Ireland on the wing. Today he's playing at 15. Big challenge for him, alongside Shane Williams in the back as well. He's going to be 100% or not. They have to pose a threat from the back, and they have to show composure and patience as well. The guys in the studio will mention it. Munster are the masters at playing a patient game. They wait their moment and then they pounce.
Well, the heroics of the men in green during the Grand Slam was a provincial cross-fertilisation, but it had a bright red Munster stamp, and their job today is to find the zone and produce the famous, almost mystical Munster factor once again.
You can just feel the energy burning off that crowd. And you for that man, Ronan O'Gara, to run this game, dictate the way the game is going as well. They're heroes on the field. They are so expecting this team to provide the good. Paul O'Connell this week's talked about the Thomond Park aspect is very important, but on top of that, there's a quality team here as well, with top-class players.
Well, the referee is Wayne Barnes, who of course refereed that Grand Slam game between Ireland and Wales. 15-6 was the penalty count that day against Ireland. Munster won't want that today. The Ospreys probably do.
Just waiting, please.
It's quite interesting whether Paul O'Connell has managed to put a bit of pressure on Wayne Barnes here at all, or whether Wayne Barnes has got into their heads as well, whether they created an issue that doesn't exist. But Ryan Jones will have to drive that pack to compete.
Well, here we go. Can Munster reset, refocus and re-energise once again? Remember when they won their first Heineken Cup in 2006, they lost rather limply to an inspired Clonetty in the quarter-finals the following season. And again, as defending champions, they face a Welsh region in the last 8. Any demons in the dark corners, we wonder. Lafemi Mafi makes the first mistake, in comes Dougie Howlett, and he's tackled by Tia Tia. Such a powerful force at number 8.
And Munster looking to go wide from the outset. Good pressure by the Ospreys though.
Here's Shane Williams carrying that groin problem. Remember the Ospreys missing Gavin Henson, missing Lee Byrne at fullback, Tommy Bowe in that shirt. That's Paul James. This is Mike Phillips now, and it's out to James Hook. James Hook, Jones carries. Munster working hard on the floor, and they've turned this ball over, and it's O'Gara. And some ground control from the number 10.
I suppose you've got to be careful of turnovers. You know, O'Gara will put that ball deep behind them on turnovers, force them back and make it work hard. Also, O'Gara's going to have to work hard in defence today. You know the Ospreys are going to go down that channel, and there's James straight away, straight into Ronan O'Gara. They're going to try and attack those channels.
Well, there really was an incredible entrance by this Munster side, an amazing reception here at Thomond Park. Flannery straight to Donegal O'Callaghan, the industrious second row forward, and that's Wallace at 10, Lafemi Mafi. May miss his strike partner in midfield to Pokey, but this fella has great pace, and that is a very good tackle by Bishop, and then it's great support. This is O'Leary, now O'Gara, and it's Marcus Horan who's wrapped up well.
They're ready. Really playing with wit. We're really trying to get a ball, attack the outside channels. Munster.
O'Gara has to go in there to try and rock the ball out. The Ospreys have got it. And this is Bishop. And now it's Hook and Tia Tia. And the advantage goes to Munster here. And it's what we expected, a furious and a physical start.
Yeah, Quinlan did well to step in on Tia Tia, looking to release the outside man. You see the outside channels, trying to put... So on the outside, great tackle. That's a superb tackle on Earls by Bishop. Terrific tackle by Andrew Bishop, getting across there.
Look at the cap difference in the packs. Munster 429. The free kick goes to Munster North. They go quickly. This is Quinlan, and now it's Dowling who tries to spin out of the tackle from Bishop. And there's the drive from the men in red, the European champions. O'Leary out to O'Gara. Now Keith Earls. And this is Paul Warwick, Dougie Howlett. Shane Williams tackles him. Good position for Munster now as O'Leary finds Marcus Horan. And it's Paul O'Connell now in possession. O'Leary to O'Gara, now it's Lafemi Mafi. Mafi gets away. Here's O'Gara. O'Gara's got men wide outside. Will this be the first try of the game? Munster very close here. Ospreys under desperate pressure. O'Leary gets the ball, and Mafi gets it now, and goes, those stepping feet.
It was unfortunate there for Munster. They were building some great momentum there, really using Mafi and Keith Earls to attack those outside channels, really using that burst of pace they both got in midfield. Such a potent threat they are now these days. Munster are far from being a one-dimensional side now. They really are attacking from all aspects, all areas of the field. And you've got a man like Dougie Howlett out wide as well. Driving in keeping infield, did well, stepped inside, no danger of going over the touch, but then there's the step again from Maffey, looking to probe those outside channels, looking for the outside pass. Dowling stepping back inside, not prepared to go to the touch, wanting to keep that ball alive. They really are looking dangerous and pacey out wide at the moment.
Well, 15 men who started that Grand Slam game in Cardiff are on the pitch today, so there's real quality through both sides here, quite clearly. Hugh Bennett, who's the hooker for the Ospreys, finds his skipper. This is Mike Phillips. Vaughton is chasing that one. Oh, it's a great tackle by Johnny Vaughton.
Good up and under as well. Plenty of hang time from Mike Phillips there. Ample opportunity for the wing to get there. You see the Ospreys are trying to turn Munster and put them back in their own territory. They also need to spend some time on the ball as well.
Nearly waits. Munster always so patient when they have the ball, and when they don't have the ball in defence. In comes Tommy Bowe, and he takes his first ball very well indeed. He has played quite a lot of rugby at 15 and underage level, and for Ulster and for the Ospreys. Now here comes Shane Williams. Shane Williams is tackled by Maffey. And had to be. Good tackle by Maffey.
Well, test his groin.
12, not the tackle.
Well, a moment of danger there for Munster as Parker gets it to Phillips.
You're not the tackler.
And the whistle has gone, and it's Munster who are penalised for the second time by Wayne Barnes.
Tackle was
Pacey
made,
start
number 12
to a game,
onside.
really are both sides. Want to sprint the ball, want to attack the opposition as well. Not allow opportunity for the defensive alignment. They don't want a slow game, they want a quick game. That's going to be great to see. Talked about the box kick in from Mike Phillips later on. Lots of hang time. That is in the air for a good 4+ seconds, which gives enough time for Vaughton to take man on ball on Dowling. Good tackle. Waited for him to get down to the ground as well. Didn't take him up in the air. There's Williams. Sonny Parker outside him, deciding to take on Maffey. But attacking those channels on the outside.
Well, he's got a great record for the Ospreys, 642 points to his name, but not this time, in perfect conditions here in Limerick.
Silence perfectly observed as well, and that silence sometimes can be deafening as well. As a kicker, you can probably hear your heart beating as you're trying to compose yourself.
Well, that's what the All Blacks said when they came here, wasn't it, at Thomond Park to play that match in November. It was unnerving. It almost chills the blood. That's Paul O'Connell trying to get his hands on the ball, but a knock forward there from the side and black.
Very competitive there, the restarts. Both packs piling in. And a sneaking advantage. Here's the strike. Nice strike as well. Just past the left side of the upright. Got a nice strike.
Ospreys in their second Heineken Cup quarter-final. Munster in their 11th. They've made 7 semi-finals, and Ronan O'Gara was saying during the week there's been a zen-like calm in the camp in the build-up and preparation for this match.
Well, they've been here before so many times, it becomes muscle memory in the end.
Start using.
O'Leary has to deal with a bouncing ball, and Hook tried to charge it down. O'Leary gets a very good kick away.
He did well there to rescue that. It was uncomfortable at the time. The press has come in from the Ospreys as well. And the presence of mind. Just look up, saw the gap behind, and perfectly weighted behind Shane Williams. Nothing Tommy Bowe could do about it.
6 and 8.
That was a scrappy ball from the back of the scrum. They'd be disappointed with that, but well cleaned up.
Yeah, the Munster guys were saying they've moved smoothly from the green mindset of the Grand Slam back into the red mindset of Munster. It's Alan Wynne-Jones who wins that ball on the line out. Up comes Howlett, takes it well, Dougie Howlett, and that's Ronan O'Gara who's caught round the throat by Mike Phillips off the ball, it seemed.
There was a big hit there by Alan Wynne-Jones and Dougie Howlett. Lots of big hits going in.
Ian Dowling tries to hand off Jones, and here's David Wallace. We know the pace he has. Stays on his feet just long enough to get the support from Flannery. And now it's O'Leary, and it's Alan Quinlan. Quinlan, oh, and he gets it to O'Gara, who gets hammered as well.
Look at that press, lots of red jerseys chasing up.
Here comes Howlett, looks for Flannery, and was it forward? On this side, Paul Dix puts his flag in the air quickly.
Fast and furious, the action is everywhere. Kept their composure, kept the defensive press going. That's what you want. When you want it in a wing, you want to be up against a prop. In the end, Adam Jones did well just to grab a jersey, Ian Dowling's jersey there, otherwise he was away. That's what you want as a wing. You want to be up against a front row, the mismatch. But a lot of attacking coaches try and create now.
Good in touch as well, so Bennett with the line out, and it's challenged by Quinlan, but Tia he grasps it, the All Black. 2 caps for New Zealand 9 years ago now, but he is 37. Tia.
Arrival.
Sun shining in Limerick, absolutely glorious out there. They're going to be a glorious day for this Munster side, and they've won that ball, they've turned it over, and O'Gara to Maffey, to Keith Earls. Warwick is outside him, and they've got to watch Earls for that pace.
He really is electric off the mark, Keith Earls.
This is Horan, and again being squeezed by that Ospreys defence. This is Warwick, he looked up, he sees a bit of space, he thinks in behind Vaughton, and across comes Tommy Bowe. Oh, charged down by Warwick. Oh, but that might be the danger for the Ospreys, with Tommy Bowe not having very much game time in that position.
Yeah, intelligent kick initially by Warwick. He knew what he was doing. And it turned the full back. Tommy Bowe hadn't been in this position that often, and the pressure came on as well. Chased up his own kick. You create your own luck as well, Ed, to an extent, but an intelligent kick. Really clever player, Paul Warwick. Great addition to this Munster squad.
Well, Bowe has started once for the Ospreys this season at fullback against Edinburgh, but of course usually on the wing or in the centre for this Ospreys side.
But that's the corner though, to put the ball in on Lee Byrne as well if he was playing, because he is left-footed. So that's the corner you would like to kick to.
Hugh Bennett, long one to the tail, and it's won by Quinlan. And now here's O'Gara. And O'Leary looks for the gap and goes. O'Leary, that's brilliant by O'Leary. He does have pace. The support is there from Wallace. And Wayne Barnes is looking very closely at that.
Stand up.
Yet another turnover.
Time off.
From a liner as well.
Grandad Barnesy, is that a try? Yes
Building
or
the pressure
no?
on this Ospreys team.
Well, he's going to the TMO, Jeff Warren. It was superb stuff there by Munster, initially from Tomas O'Leary. But here is Wallace, and what happens next?
Look at that leg drive as well. You want 2 defenders there. The ball still not down, it's up in the air. You can't give it from that angle. A great leg drive, low body position as well. Taking over Bishop and Phillips.
Bishop did tremendously well, didn't he, to get his body in the right position underneath Wallace.
Good teamwork there. Wallace getting sandwiched between Bishop. Bishop did very well, gets underneath him.
Well, the crowd are roaring. Do they know something we don't?
Well, it's difficult to tell from that angle. As I can see, the ball has landed on top of Bishop.
Well, Jeff Warren's one of the best TMOs in the business.
I can't see how you can give that as a try. It looks to me that ball is sat on top of Andrew Bishop.
I agree with that on the first one. I totally agree on the first one. That's what we got on.
Well, the crowd are getting impatient, but the TMO's got to get this one absolutely right.
Yeah.
Deserves all the time he needs.
Okay, thank you. No try. Scrum.
Yeah, so Bishop did do a great job, didn't he? And Phillips.
Excellent job. Got underneath him. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Munster were already trotting back to the halfway line. Whether that's a psychological ploy, I don't know. They were confident they'd scored. But again, a great attacking position.
On the body.
They shadow the posts. Big open side. And a big blind side as well.
Well, Paul Warwick is standing just to the left of Ronan O'Gara here. And they've got the pace, of course, of Keith Earls there, number 13, who's been a real rapier for this Munster side in that position this season.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
5 yards back there, on the try line. A big blindside to attack.
He's back up.
And Wallace has gone to number 8, where he can be so effective off the base, and here he goes, driving, powering towards the line.
And there's a penalty as well, possibly coming for offside. Such was the pressure, they knew what was coming there.
You're offside, the line was
Whether
offside.
Munster had the option to go wide or the pickup from David Wallace, but so much power. Who knows, he might be playing an 8 for the Lions this summer. Such his ability off the base. Look at that power. That first 3 or 4 yards of acceleration gets him past Mike Phillips. But just desperate defence keep him all offside.
You keep on that body for me and I'll make sure he stays. I know
With the new LVs, players how many 5 yards back, the back of the scrum. If you've got a powerful, quick 8, likes of Spies, who plays for the box as well, likely to be up against the Lions in the summer. David Wallace can also offer that pace.
Well, 1,017 points in the Heineken Cup. He's got 1,747 in all competitions for his province. And he's closing in on 1,000 for Ireland. He's some operator, but that was a simple one, but great pressure from Munster.
Yeah, they were building on the pressure, and then again it came from a turnover. It's key for the Ospreys. They can't afford to turn over the ball. They're working hard defensively. Can't afford to give the ball back when he manages to steal that. Tony McGann will be happy with this start.
And Laurie Fisher are probably quite happy with his forwards to win that turnover ball, and those 2 great drives from David Wallace, who's in the form of his life. He's so incredibly consistent, Wallace, whether wearing 8 or 7. Here's O'Leary, and Howlett's on the chase already. Up goes Williams, and Williams doesn't gather cleanly.
Tony Bowe did well there in support.
Here's Ryan Jones. This is Shane Williams. And Shane Williams, who's only, what, 12.5 stone. He's got some trouble there, but in from the side, the advantage here to the Ospreys, and the penalty again to the Welsh.
He fancies from this distance. Is he going to kick for the corner? No, he's going to go for the post. And a second opportunity. That penalty and that possible David Wallace try came from the turnover from this line out. Again, at the tail, Dennis Leamy looks slightly overthrown. But again, that created the pressure and the opportunity. There was the drive, the offload from Tomas O'Leary.
Ospreys coach Sean Holly. Scott Johnson coming in to take over very soon, though.
Yeah, it's been difficult for Sean Holly and John Humphreys this season. They're as stand-in coaches until somebody else comes along. Difficult, and they've done the best of a very difficult circumstance.
Much straighter angle this time for James Hook, and he struck it well, and he squares things up here at Thomond Park. Munster 3, the Ospreys 3.
Yeah, nice strike there from James Hook. Struck the first one quite well, just pulled it a little bit. That one, that's from near the halfway line, so that'll be warning signs for Munster. They can't afford to give penalties away anywhere in their own half.
It's already a penalty count against Munster from Wayne Barnes, and they did mention the papers this week that, you know, the 2 games he's been in charge in the Heineken Cup this season, Wayne Barnes, the penalty count has gone against Munster, Mondaba and Clermont. It's Dowling to O'Gara. Now here's Maffey, goes off one of those mazy runs. Again, screaming for the high tackle here in Limerick, and here's Keith Earls. Little step as he takes the ball, and Bishop again has him well marked. O'Leary has now Paul O'Connell. Big ball carrier, big tackle count as well he has, the Munster skipper.
Great work ethic.
O'Leary, here's Flannery. Flannery tries to hand off Jones, the advantage going to Munster here. Wayne Barnes wants to speak to the skipper.
listen to me. He's got to get his timing better. The player never had the ball. He's tackled the man without the ball. It's a penalty. He'd be careful from now on.
James accumulates without the ball. He's trying to stretch this defence. But again, there's Dowling coming in, trying to wait for the offload from Flannery. Taken out by Paul James. Franny's looking to try and get the offload. You can see the ball get into the outside of the arm, looking for the man on the outside. Dowling taken out though. And again, you can see Munster are stretching this Ospreys defence, looking to attack this time. O'Gara goes for the corner. Goes one low into a very strong attacking position. Munster have only lost once, of course, here at Thomond Park in 32 previous Heineken Cup matches. That famous game against Leicester, the last match here before the redevelopment.
Down close.
So Flannery goes towards the tail, taken by Wallace. That was Ian for Horan. Difficult ball for a loose head to take that down. Sloppy there for Munster. The ball was there for the peel to come round.
Hands right now!
Random. It's not quite active enough at the moment. Can they develop some accuracy here? O'Gara's moved to the blind side here. They've gone to the open.
Hands
Then
away!
goes Quinlan to support. And off they go again and through those big windling forwards, trying to batter holes in this Ospreys defence. Two front rowers on the blind side as well. Out to Quinlan.
And away!
And again, advantage to Munster. They're going to get the penalty here. Ospreys at the breakdown off their feet.
Number 1, number 7 off their feet. Hey,
Marty Hola and Paul James off their feet there.
Number 1, number 7 off their feet. There's your mark.
And when you get in those situations, they don't want to allow Munster quick ball.
Go. Just about
An easy 3 points now for O'Gara.
Number 1, number 7. No, I thought you were off your feet. That's what I asked.
Pro is going to do any time they're in the shadow of their own post. They're not prepared to allow quick ball to go. Plenty of opportunities there. You can see the frustration from O'Leary. He knew that was good quality ball. It could have won.
Thank you.
999th player to play for the All Blacks. Windows 1000th. So O'Gara puts Munster back into the lead here by 6 points to 3. And it's an intimidating atmosphere here. Some of the Munster fans, would you believe, tried to become members of the Ospreys so they could purchase some of the Ospreys' allocation of tickets for this match. The Red Army will try every trick in the book. Resistance is futile. It's Leamy. Dennis Leamy, who was on early in that Grand Slam victory against Wales for Stephen Ferris. It's been a long time this season with injury. They've turned the ball over again. And now it's Bishop, and here's Sonny Parker, the strong Sonny Parker. Forward pass. Forward pass there. He just hesitated for a split second and got overrun. And there's plenty of defenders there.
Scrum red.
Yeah, 3 turnovers apiece. Be careful in those areas because both sides will be very clinical at taking advantage of those turnovers.
Middle, crouch, touch, pause, engage. Stay on.
It's good strummage by Munster. O'Leary, and that's for Dowling to chase. There's certainly lots of height on it. Oh, that's well claimed. Great take in the air by Bow. It's the second time he's called early and claimed. Red hand coming in from Munster. Another penalty given against Munster by Wayne Barnes. And that came from the assistant official. That did. Barnes couldn't see from his angle. And the hands went in. And this kick from Tomas O'Leary.
Plenty of height, as he said, but not quite enough distance. A lot of players hanging around there, but well claimed. That's what you want from your 15. You want him to be assured, you want him to be confident, you want him to be loud and say, that's my ball. That's exactly what he claimed there. And you can see the hands going in.
Yeah, Robin Goodliff picked that up, and he's got, you know, great hands. He's got a Gaelic football background with Monaghan, which definitely helps that particular skill. James Hook has missed one, and now he's missed 2 out of 3, and Munster stay in the lead here. Maybe the feeling that the Ospreys have to take their opportunities today, Jan?
Yeah, it looks as if he snatched a little bit of that one. First two he struck relatively well, but that one he seemed to snatch it, give a little bit more effort into it.
An interesting restart from Ronald O'Gara, and David Wallace eventually gets his hands on the ball. O'Gara, this is Warwick. Warwick steps inside, Bishop, that's great stuff by Warwick. Support from O'Gara was inside, he's chipped it through for Earls with his pace. Back comes Tommy Bowe and just lets it roll. But that had elements of danger.
He's looked threatening every time he's had the ball.
Let me tell you what I've seen. It's not late, but it's with a shoulder. Okay, can you take me back where the contact is?
Turn off the ball now, Will.
Go away. Don't run at me. Take me back to where the tackle was, Dixie. It's right in the other half. Penalty over there for taking the man without the ball. This man's gone in with a shoulder, no attempt to grasp.
Oh, it's a yellow card for Philo Tia. It was very well spotted on this side again. The touch judges both working well today. It was Paul Dix this time, and Philo Tia has some time in the correctional facility. And can Munster take advantage of this? Here it is.
Yeah, they look to attack those channels, looking to put through. And that is late, and it's with the shoulders. No arms at all. No option for Wilmans. He had to. It's in there. It's reckless. There, the hit goes in after he kicked. It'll be a yellow card. And again, they're attacking those channels. They're attacking the outside and using Paul Warwick, Keith Earls, and Maffey.
Well, incredibly, it doesn't find touch, and Shane Williams helps to keep the ball in play. Here's O'Leary to Paul Warwick, who instigated that last attack. Looks outside, sees Dowling, up comes Sonny Parker and catches Dowling. Now Keith Earls, look at the leg drive and the strength from Earls. His father was a flanker juror, and maybe he's got that power on those quadriceps. Here comes O'Leary on the blind side.
Good defence twice there by Sonny Parker. The first tackle initially, and there were danger signs going everywhere. Down to 14 men at the moment. All hands to the pump for Ospreys. Need to survive this 10 minutes. Again, good defensive work. Parker showing the emotion. 39 times he carried the ball. They've looked to keep the ball in hand. They've looked to stretch this defence.
Munster, of course, having a great season. Quarter-finals of the Heineken Cup, 7 points clear at the top of the Magners League. So on course, they hope for a trophy double. Look at that from the pack. They love that here at Fulham Park. They love their forwards.
They seem to be Wallace in attack, also in defence there. And driving with that tackle.
Hook, and this is Dowling to Paul Warwick. Not a great pass, picks it up well. And it's James Hook who's in the fullback slot this time. He's played there for Wales, and he would have played there if Shane Williams hadn't been fit.
Good kick by Hook there.
Quinlan, chip and chase for Quinlan. Back goes Earls.
Two kicks there with plenty of cover. Oh, such an assured footballer though. So here's the pickup, there's the drive from Ryan Jones, and there's the double hit. Wallace and O'Leary there, the drive came on. So Leamy's behind as well. And Ryan Jones just outnumbered, outmuscled, 3-1. There's no contest. I think Doom back probably did well to hold on to the ball.
Well, Tomas O'Leary has tremendous power. A very physical scrum half. Sean Payne, superb Munster fullback of old, not that old, not that long ago.
Good work there by Mike Phillips. Good offload from Andy Holland as well. Under pressure from that line out. Scramble the ball back.
Get off his hair. Hands down, both of you.
Phillips to Bennett. Late on the halfway line, the Ospreys. Mike Phillips gets it out to James Hook, misses out Sonny Parker, and now Bishop, and just caught round the bootlaces by Keith Earls.
Hold back feet. Hey!
There's been some terrific scrambling defence from both sides.
Mike Phillips at 10, Hook was at 9 that time. Here's Marty Holla. Yeah, 36 caps for the All Blacks, a very, very experienced individual indeed. And now it's Tommy Bowe. Gets it to Sonny Parker. Remember, the Ospreys down to 14 men at the moment. Tia is in the bin. Phillips. Hook looking inside for Hugh Bennett. Little bit telegraphed. And covered by Munster, that inside channel. Mike Phillips again to James Hook. Now Alan Wynne-Jones, and that's a poor ball. Here's Ian Down. Can he gather and scamper? Not quite.
I don't think it remains on. There's no tries because both sides have had so much intent.
Here's intent for Mike Phillips, and he was hit by Donica O'Callaghan. Phillips goes down. O'Callaghan is going to be spoken to, maybe sternly.
A second. Hey, as I said, I don't want you two getting involved in this, nothing to do with you.
Probably not quite as cynical as the...
He kicks it ahead, he hasn't
Tia.
changed his line, he's put his on. Let's be careful, it's the same warning that they had.
Yeah, not quite as cynical as the Tia
kick or kick, because it was
situation was. Nice play by Mike Phillips, looking behind, but there O'Callaghan comes straight in, takes him out. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Cynical, but not quite as surgical as the Tia one was. He came charging in from about 10 yards.
Not quite as potentially physically damaging. Tia could move tectonic plates if he had to. James Hook, can he nail this one? And the answer is yes.
That keeps the Ospreys in the game, really, and Munster seem to have mentality in the possession of the moment and opportunities, but they've given away penalties. 4 chances of goal they've given to James Hook. He's going to take the lion's share of them.
It's a bit like watching Ireland, because in the Six Nations in the first half and in virtually all the games they struggled a bit, and then they burst into life in the third quarter.
Patience is a great virtue when it comes to the game, modern game. Composure, to just bide your time, wait your moment. Some Munster have done time and time again.
It's a great take initially by Alan Wynne-Jones, but again Munster have won that ball back. It's good scrambling work, and it's Alan Quinn, and he's lost the ball. A lot of fumbling in perfect conditions and turnover ball.
It's the ferocity, some of the hits going in as well. Sometimes you're trying to take your eye off the ball, waiting for the hit to come in.
It's not a bad looking kick from Dennis Levy, who chases hard and forces the error. The Munster number 8.
Yeah, good kick, great chase by O'Donnell. He's a good footballer. Doesn't panic when that ball is bouncing. He waited for the moment. And a good up and under, and an even better chase as well. And that puts pressure on Hook as he goes up. He's confronted by a big red jersey staring him full in the face.
Again, a difficult ball for O'Leary to deal with here. And backtracking are Munster and Lafemi Mafi. Look at that for a little clever offload there. Held the ball up beautifully, didn't he?
Yeah, it's the first step as well. It's the step that takes him away from the tackle. And he changes the point of focus.
O'Leary in behind Shane Williams. Has to play it.
Wait, please, wait for your winger.
Oh, well played, well kept in play by Paul Warwick. Goes towards Ian Goff, gets outside, almost gets outside Ian Goff, but not quite. The real powerhouse in the second row for the Ospreys, but they're getting another penalty here, Munster, not rolling away the Ospreys, and it's very kickable.
He has been very evident in this first half with Paul Warwick, as you see Munster launch an attack.
Yeah, not kicking it, here's Horner. Drives into Sonny Parker and Williams, who do well between them.
If they'd have that decision again, I'm sure they might have gone for the post in a game that's very tight. That was well within Ronan O'Gara's range. Looking to pick up the tempo. I'm sure they're going to put pressure now on this line. O'Gara it is. Decides to take a quick tap. And plenty of black journeys there. And now it's an opportunity for the Ospreys to relieve the pressure. In a game that's very tight, you want to take the points. That's on offer.
Yeah, quite unlike Munster, that, yeah. Not to take the three when they get the chance to.
But it's a very fast and furious game. People know there's opportunities to score tries out there. This hadn't really taken advantage yet.
That was Doug Howlett to Warwick. Now Doyling. Keith Earls is outside him. Already seen his pace, and he switches inside. It's a poor ball. It's Warwick.
A little bit too clever that time from Dowling.
They try to settle things down again. Paul O'Connell.
It's one of those moments it's harder not to find someone than to find someone.
Smashing into contact. Here's O'Gara. Now Dougie Howlett pops up in midfield. And again, the influential Leamy gets it out to Marcus Horan. He loves finding that position on the wide outside as Marcus Horan. He scored a couple of tries in the Heineken Cup. Here's John Hayes.
Another man with great work ethic, John Hayes.
Ronan O'Gara, here's Lafemi Maffei outside to Alan Quinlan, and it's a poor ball. Ball went backwards. Maffei gets a chance to go again. He bounces off one tackle. That's brilliant by Maffei. Eventually tackled by Sonny Parker. Now O'Leary down the blind side to O'Gara. Here's Keith Earls.
Pressure's building.
O'Connell. Can they withstand this pressure, though, the Ospreys? Maffei once more. He's always darting and looking for that gap and looking to get through it. And here's Paul Warwick. Warwick checks inside. Alan Jones. And it's Paul Warwick who's going to score. What a super try. And Paul Warwick has been sublime in the early part of this game.
Grandad boys here.
It's
Try
the
us or no?
5-pointer for the home side.
He's been so effective and so important for Munster in this first half. Really is. Seen all his footballing skills on show. His kicking ability, his running ability as well. Really has spread the ball nicely. Very alert here. And there's the dive that goes in. I think that's a try. He lost the ball and caught it again before he landed.
It was on the back of the other one as well. It was on the back of the other one.
TNT is back on, by the way. You can see him there. But again, another decision for Jeff
much.
Warren to make. And it's a simpler one this time. The try to Paul Warwick, the try to Munster, and they pull away to 11 points to 6, and it's under the sticks as well.
Yeah, he nearly lost it, but that presence of mind to gain the ball back again as he was in mid-air. Anybody, both he and Maffei have been really impressive in this first half. And the way they carried the ball, really pressed this Ospreys defence.
Simple as you like for Ronan O'Gara.
So often, it's that initial step. Look at the explosion. The explosion, back, he's gone. He carries the ball, he really explodes into the contact. Makes it very difficult to bring him down. Great body position as well, low. And again, another step, brushes aside. A few weak tackles there, the Ospreys after defending very well in this first half, would have been disappointed to not have put Warwick down there.
Yeah, of course he saw it was Alan Wynne-Jones in front of him, the second row forward, Tomas O'Leary. Clears it well for Munster. And ominous signs for the Welsh region.
The pressure's been building, they've been looking to attack. Showing that from the outset, from the start of this game, they've shown an ambition to take Ospreys home behind. And with a form the Maffei, Earls and Warwick are showing at the moment, why wouldn't you?
And Munster are one of the great sides in terms of being able to convert possession and pressure into points. Here's Hook. Here's Sonny Parker. A bit of a gap for Parker here. Lafemi Maffei eventually brings him down. And here's Hook to Bennett. And now Mike Phillips trying to use his strength. Shane Williams at 9. And it's Hook. Mike Phillips, Tommy Bowe standing at 10 here. Gets it to Alan Wynne-Jones. Jerry Flannery makes the tackle. Shane Williams again in the 9 slot. Mike Phillips and Paul James into contact. Munster done it again here.
Numbers, plenty numbers in that contact area. 3 forward winning and drove the Ospreys off that ball. Great counter-racking. Good work there by Flannery. And Paul O'Connell's alongside him as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 jerseys in there. Paul O'Connell's there. Look, the drive come in. There's a drive. Hayes is there, Flannery's there. Paul O'Connell's there as well. Good body position on that drive. Drove him off that ball. Ospreys can't afford to do.
Again, it squirts out. Here's Warwick. Warwick dialing, Earls chasing, cross comes Bowe, has to use his feet.
That ball could have ricocheted anywhere there.
Kicked into his own man, just accidental offside. Accidental offside.
Grubber kick through as well. Pushing Bowe towards the touchlines. He kicks the ball, it bounces off Vaughan. It's accidental offside. Kicking into his own man there. He's going to scramble that ball with the pressure the chase is on as well.
Which means, of course, another Munster scrimmage. It's better control this time. Leamy to O'Leary, delayed the pass just a hair and gave it to Dowling. Here comes the surge. Look at the drive. Up to the 22. Really feeling the heat. Here's O'Gara, and that's for Howlett to chase. Tommy Bowe is underneath it. Good take by Tommy Bowe. That's 3 times brilliant in those situations.
And there was even more pressure on that occasion. That was a great take by Bowe. Under pressure from Dougie Howlett. Terrific up and under. Again, assured. That's what he wanted from 15.
Jerry Flannery. O'Gara. This is Dennis Leamy, and a little wrap around is O'Gara. O'Leary, Paul Warwick, so used to playing at 10, of course, wearing 15, and now it's Maffey, and Maffey slices once more. He's got support outside, and Maffey is inside for the return ball. Where's the support? It arrives now, 5 metres shorter, Munster. Brilliant break by them. David Wallace in possession, but it's Ospreys' ball. And Mike Phillips has his hands on it. He goes straight to Warwick. Warwick, he loves a drop of goal, you know. Tried this against Sale and Edgeley Park. And he gets one here.
Well, what a 40 minutes that man has had. Really impressive. Yet again, he started that break. He started, lifted his head up, he stood in the outer half slot. What a great pass in to put Maffey on the outside. He's been so impressive. And there he is. He's back in the 15 slot. Waiting up and then lifted his head up, had a look, and just drilled it. I mean, a superb 40 minutes from Paul Warwick.
Thank you.
Well, of course, London Irish tried to pinch him from Munster, and there was a bit of a wrangle there. It was eventually sorted out, and he's staying at Munster, and I'm sure they're very relieved indeed. So Connell.
No, you're off your feet now, Captain. Never on.
That pass from Paul Warwick really put Maffey on the outside there. Maffey was able to ride the pass to get outside.
O'Gara for Howlett to chase, finds a bit of space. Up comes Shane Williams. This is where he can be so dangerous. Those stepping feet. And it's O'Leary makes the tackle. What a good tackle it was. Well, he watched Williams all the way.
And away!
At the moment, he's going to need a little bit of individuality from one of the Ospreys players just to drag him back into this game.
Comes off Flannery, in comes Tommy Bowe. Oh, and O'Leary. They were really down numbers there because all the Ospreys players were up in attack. There wasn't one Osprey inside their own half.
That kick had gone downfield. That was a big chase on there. Lots of red jerseys.
Stop, I can't hear. JC, is that time?
Well, it's the final act of this first half, and we've had one try from Paul Warwick. What a good try it was to individual try, beating defenders, scoring under the post or close to them, and a drop goal from him as well. The half-time score at Thomond Park, Munster 16, the Ospreys 6.